Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Beetlejuice Beetlejuice has returned. The sequel to the big hit. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton, Winona, Ryder, and Jenna Ortega joining the cast with Catherine O'Hara. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 14 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, Catherine O'Hara, of course, was in the original movie as well. Notably absent, Jeffrey Jones, for reasons you'll have to look up on the internet. Some of the cast has passed on. The designer guy, if you remember him, the fat designer guy, he's that actor's no longer with us. And then she's new. But you also have Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis, who are not in the sequel, which is very strange considering the ending of the first movie. Yes, the ending of the first movie is very much not in play here, and I think it should be. I think it would have been easy to recast them for a couple of reasons. September 6th. I might see this. I don't know. I'll say this. William Dafoe's in it. William Dafoe's in everything recently. I'll say I kind of like the look of this, but it looks a little low energy as compared to the first movie. Now, everybody's older, except Jenna Ortega, who's new. But Jenna doesn't get much to do in this. Winona Ryder seems to be fairly energetic. Michael Keaton seems a little low-key, I'm shocked to say. Now, I'm hoping that in the movie, he tears it up more. But in this, he looks a little low-key. And Winona has got a little more energy than him. Catherine O'Hara is always solid. She's doing the Catherine O'Hara thing. Jeffrey Jones, obviously they couldn't put him back in for various reasons, but they could have recast him. I think they needed a lot of recasting here. Here's what I think they should have done. Number one, they should have definitely recast Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis's characters, because their characters, spoilers if you haven't seen the first Beetlejuice, they die in the first movie, and that's the whole plot of the movie. They're ghosts in the house, and then they interact. They're trying to learn to be ghosts, essentially. So they're frozen in time. They would never have aged, at least from our perception. Now, maybe you could have thrown them in with the actual actors if you had covered them in makeup, that they were all rotten, like ghosts sometimes are. In the movie, they all are except them. Because I think they drowned in a car accident, right? I think that's how they died. But I think they definitely needed to be in this. Now, maybe they acknowledge them in some small way that's not in the trailer. I think they should have 100% definitely put the characters in. Obviously, you can't have Alec Baldwin, I think. He's caught up in his legal troubles. I'm sure he would have done it, but I don't think the studio would have wanted him in. Geena Davis, again, if you had made her up as like a ghastly character, like her, she's the same character, same clothes, but they're all torn and rotten, and she's got makeup on, and she's got flesh peeling off her head. That could have been cool, and you could have kept the same actor. And then she could have mentioned what happened to Alec Baldwin. Now, Alec Baldwin's, the problem with him is he's gained a lot of weight as compared to what he looked like back then. I think he would have been too fat, and there would have been no way to explain that. Maybe you could have CGI'd it. See, like with Michael Keaton, it doesn't matter because he had so much makeup on back in '88. You know, he looks virtually the same. Winona Ryder is in the same Lydia outfit, which is kind of hilarious. Like she hasn't changed or updated her wardrobe whatsoever, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, what? Why would she update it a little bit? But okay, Catherine O'Hara's kind of looking the same. Um, and I think you could have recast Jeffrey Jones. I think you could have just gotten another actor. They sort of have an actor to play that kind of character, you know, to react. I'm not sure who he is. His name's Rory. He may be Catherine O'Hara's boyfriend or Winona Ryder's. I'm not sure. That Winona and him are together in a scene. Maybe he's the dad of Jenna Ortega, because Jenna Ortega is the daughter. I'm not sure if they're moving back into the house. Maybe they left. But, you know, I don't know. The plot. To me, if, like, Lydia's still wearing the same exact clothes, and, again, you watch the first movie, the ending is a really happy ending. Like, they're going to stay there, and it's all going to be good. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I guess, you know, it's like Lydia grew up, had a kid, and then, you know, came back and bought the house. There's also a scene with them burying Grandpa, which I guess is supposed to be Jeffrey Jones. Is Jeffrey Jones her grandfather? I don't remember that, but it's like, that's a problem too, because of what this movie's about, you know? Which is another reason you probably should have recast him. But, okay. Now, setting all that aside, what is this movie about? I think it's going to be the same damn plot. I think it's just going to be Beetlejuice coming back. He apparently is still in love with Lydia, which is kind of funny. I like that consistency of it. And he's going to try to marry Lydia again. I think the problem might be this time he's already married. She's already married, and then he has to get him divorced. And maybe they're on the verge of that, or maybe he's trying to scare her husband to death. I'm not sure. It's not a lot in terms of the plot. But definitely Beetlejuice. Lydia tells her daughter Jenna not to say Beetlejuice 3 times, and she just does it. And that opens the gates to hell, and then Beetlejuice comes back, and William Dafoe and his sidekick are the evil guys in this one, I guess. So, could be fun. I mean, I'm definitely interested in seeing it, but do you see how lackluster Michael Keaton looks in this shot? Like in '88, he had this frantic energy. In this, he seems very subdued. I mean, by comparison, I want to see the frantic energy, and that was part of the movie too. It was like he was trying to get everybody to say his name 3 times, and he's running around like I think he was on the train thing. You know, they had like some toy trains, and he was running around down there trying to get people to say his name 3 times, and then they finally do, and he's like, oh yes. This one, it just seems like they're trying to go for a creepier aesthetic, and they've changed the energy. I think that's a bad move, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just getting that from this first trailer. So first act, I guess they move back into the house. Lydia is probably looking for... Maybe they have to for some reason. Lydia is probably looking for her old friends, and I don't know if they're going to explain why they're not there. That would be Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's ghost. Maybe they finally made it to heaven. Lydia tries to warn Jenna Not to say Beetlejuice. She does anyway. Beetlejuice shows up. Second act. Second act, he's running amok, trying to get Lydia to marry him again. I forget why he needed it in the first movie. Is it so he could come back to Earth, or get out of hell? I guess. So he's using all his crazy powers to drive everybody nuts and try to get her to marry him. The climax of the first movie was the wedding scene, and then he got. Does he have to say Beetlejuice 3 times, or somebody else has to say it? I forget what sends him back. But he gets sent back at the last minute, and it's all good. In this one, I think there are some evil spirits who are even worse than Beetlejuice. So maybe they team up with Beetlejuice to defeat them, and then Beetlejuice goes back. Maybe they trick him, maybe they don't. So, yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be a comedy. I'm not seeing anything particularly funny. It's a lot of stuff from the first movie, a lot of recycled gags, and not all the good ones. Like, one of the best ones, and I think that actress is dead too, was the secretary who was older, and she had gotten her throat cut. That's how she died, and she was smoking, and the smoke was coming out of the cut. I think you needed more crazy characters like that. Feels a little low budget, I gotta be honest. And looking at the cast list, see, this is the cast list from the first movie. Even the poster looks like it's got so much energy to it. The movie poster. You can see Michael Keaton, and he's just shot out of a cannon. So you've got Adam and Barbara, Alec and Gina. They were the ghost. Beetlejuice. And then some extra supporting characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 supporting characters with names. Catherine O'Hara. You got Jeffrey Jones. Winona Ryder. Otho, who he's the one who passed. Here's the receptionist. You've got the 3-fingered typist. I think she was one, and Charman. They were all people who were who were dead. Then you look at the current list, and it's got Jenna Ortega, Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, and then William Dafoe and Dolores, or William Dafoe and Monica Bellucci, I think, are bad guys, and Rory is the new sidekick for Catherine O'Hara, I think. And then you got one other supporting character who's alive, maybe 2, and then 2 other ghost characters by name, 2 or 3, and a bunch of funeral mourners, and that's about it. And what, like a soul train, whatever that means. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of people in this thing. It's weird, right? You would think, they would kick it up. They would have, they had a whole football team in the first movie that had died. And they didn't know they were dead. That was part of the joke. Now, I don't see those listed in the original cast. So maybe they're not listing everybody. Seems to me you should have some pretty crazy characters running around in death way more than the first movie. They don't seem to be there. But let's read the write-up. Beetlejuice is back. Oscar-nominated singular creative visionary Tim Burton, an Oscar nominee and star Michael Keaton, reunite for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the long-awaited sequel to Burton's award-winning Beetlejuice. You don't have to mention every award. This is not the kind of movie people are going to see because award-winning people are in it. They want to see it because it's funny. You don't have to mention all that. Keaton returns to his iconic role alongside Oscar nominee Winona Ryder, 2-time Emmy winner Catherine O'Hara, with new cast member Justin Theroux, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and The Leftovers. I don't think the Star Wars credit really is something you want to brag about. Monica Bellucci, Spectre in the Matrix films. Arthur Conte, House of Dragon. in his feature film debut. Well, that's something. With Emmy nominee Jenna Ortega um, as Lydia's daughter. Oscar nominee William Dafoe. Again, who cares? People who won an Oscar. They're in Beetlejuice. It's a comedy, supposedly. Beetlejuice is back. After an unexpected family tragedy, three generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter Astrid discovers the mysterious model of the town in the attic, and the portal to the afterlife is accidentally opened. With trouble brewing in both realms, it's only a matter of time until someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, and the mischievous demon returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. Burton, a genre unto himself, directs a screenplay by Alfred Goh and Miles Millar from Wednesday. Story by Goh and Millar and Seth Grahame-Smith. The Lego Batman movie based on the characters created by Michael McDowell and Larry Wilson. So those two, what happened to them? What happened to them? Well, Michael McDowell's passed on. See, a lot of these guys are dead. Larry Wilson. Is he still around? Doesn't say. Doesn't say. And he does have some upcoming projects, so I would say he's still around. And then Warren Scarron, he's passed on. So, yeah. All right. So, I mean, so you got 2 out of 3 dead screenwriters. I would have brought back Larry, but, you know, that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood, everybody. Film's producers, nobody cares. Burton's creatives behind the scenes include director of photography Haris Zambarkulis, Meg 2, The Trench, Murder on the Orient Express. Says previous and frequent collaborations. Production designer Mark Scruton, Wednesday. Editor Jay Chidney from Wednesday. Oscar-winning costume designer Colleen Atwood, Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Sleepy Hollow. Oscar-winning creature effects and special makeup FX creative supervisor Neil Scanlon, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oscar-nominated composer Danny Elfman, that's a big credit. Oscar-winning hair and makeup designer Christine Blundell, Topsy Turvy. So this is September 6th, which is good because it's coming out sort of near Halloween. So this will still be in theaters, I think, by Halloween. It's a good Halloween-y movie. Probably not going to be anything too scary for the kids or too risque. Maybe a couple of D jokes, but my worry is the energy, mainly. The energy is just, I'm not seeing the energy from Michael Keaton. That's a worry. That's a worry. I want to see him shot out of a cannon, man. I want to see him like, I wouldn't recast him, obviously. He's good. I'm just wondering why he decided to play it that way, or if Tim Burton toned him down. Might be Tim Burton. So, yeah, I'm still optimistic about it. I'm still hoping it'll be good. It'll be funny. I'm not seeing a lot of comedy in the actual trailer, though. It looks more dark than it is funny. So, we need funny. You know? We need funny. And again, I really hope they address Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's characters, because they were pretty key in the first movie. I mean, I don't know how you could just cut them out and just pretend like they didn't exist. Because the thing is, you got to remember that people are going to eventually buy the set, right? And they should do a third one. And they should do one relatively quickly. I mean, how long you think Michael Keaton's going to live? They should do, hopefully if this is a hit, they'll within the next 5 years they'll do a third one, and then that'll be good because you'll have Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. That's like a perfect trilogy, right? And that way you could wrap everything up, call it a day. I'm not sure, they did have a cartoon. I'm sure they want to spin it into a TV show or a universe. I don't think they should do that at all. God forbid they do that. God forbid. But we'll see. All right. So it's called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, September 6th. Is it going to be good? 50-50, man. I mean, you watch the trailer. You be the judge. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. I will not be at Second Time Books on Saturday because of my own stupid malfeasance in scheduling things. That has been rescheduled for September. I will be at the Flemington Book Fest Sunday from 10 to 6, and I will be doing my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. That is absolutely confirmed. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.